Good day, my dear friends and respected viewers. I am Advocate Rahul Mehta, a practicing advocate from New Delhi, and today I am going to give an online lecture on the topic Drafting, Pleadings and Conveyancing, which shall form part 1 of this topic. Drafting and pleadings are the basic skills which a person aspiring to do law, with dreams of becoming an advocate later on, or a law student, or a young and budding advocate ought to acquire before jumping into the vast ocean of litigation. Firstly, I'll start with drafting rules and skills. In general, drafting means putting one's own ideas and thoughts in writing. Drafting of any matter is an art. As you may all recall, even in school days, we have drafted essays, paragraphs, letters, applications, etc. In professional life, especially in offices also, drafting forms an integral part in communication, either in writing or through email or otherwise. As far as drafting of legal matters is concerned, it requires much greater skills, aptitude and efficiency. It requires, number 1, thorough knowledge of law. Law is a very vast subject and one should be fully aware of the latest developments in the field of law and the amendments that have taken place on various subject matters of law. Number 2 is procedure. Legal procedures are methods by which legal rights are enforced and is a machinery for carrying on a lawsuit, including the process. The pleadings, rules of evidence and rules of civil procedure or criminal procedure. Number 3 is settled judicial principles. It is also a very important aspect as the settled judicial principles have to be incorporated in pleadings properly. It involves thorough legal research by way of finding latest judgments and putting forth the correct citation and judgment as per the pleadings and the topic of the pleadings. The citation should be related to the subject matter of the pleadings and it should not be off the radar. Nowadays, judgments can be found online also, and it has made the life of an advocate very easier. Number 4 is proficiency in English language. Proficiency in English language is one of the important aspects of drafting, and it has to be given more weightage by young and budding advocates, as language is an integral part of any draft or pleading. I believe that one should always proofread the draft which takes the form of pleadings before filing the case in any court of law. Now coming to the proofreading aspect and also proficiency in English language, I'll give a very common example. As a custom and as a habit, all the advocates do write either respectfully show it or most respectfully show it while addressing the honorable judge in the pleadings. The word with spelling showeth, S-H-E-W-E-T-H, is old-fashioned, not used frequently, wherein shew means show, S-H-O-W, and even now some advocates write the word as showeth with the spellings S-H-E-W-E-T-H. But the correct word to be used is showeth, S-H-O-W-E-T-H, which also means show, and this word is more in usage in modern times. I'll give some other examples as to how errors can be minimized with regard to spellings, which can completely alter the meaning of a sentence. It is always grammar with the spellings G-R-A-M-M-A-R and not G-R-A-M-M-E-R, which some of us do write it wrongly. Another word which is spelled wrongly is definition. The correct spelling of definition is D-E-F-I-N-I-T-I-O-N. We have come to the conclusion that perfect drafting of matters in relation to suits, applications, complaints, writ petitions, appeals, revisions, reviews, and other such matters connected therewith has to be concise, crisp, and grammatically correct. Hence, a person who acquires the requisite knowledge, perfection, and proficiency in drafting of these matters shall undoubtedly become a perfect legal professional and a cut above the rest. We have now come to the other subtopic, that is pleadings. Before letting you know about some of the aspects of pleadings, I shall let you know about the brief history of pleadings. In ancient India and in medieval India, pleadings certainly existed but not in the present form. the parties actually appeared in person in open courts and oral arguments or altercations took place in the presence of the judges. These oral pleadings were conducted either by the party itself or by a person who was an eloquent orator and well versed in Dharam Shastras or Quran, whom people generally called Pandit and Maulvi in ancient and in medieval India respectively. In European countries, such person was called narrator and advocates before the adoption of present lawyers institution. The Pandits, Maulvis and narrators helped the kings and judges in the administration of justice in those days. Coming to some of the aspects of pleadings in part 1. Now coming to some of the aspects of pleading in part 1, I will firstly define pleadings. Pleadings are the statements of facts in writing, drawn up and filed in a court of law by each party to the case, stating therein what its contention shall be at the trial stage and giving all such details as the opponent or the opposite party will need to know in order to prepare his or her case. A pleading includes claims and counterclaims but not the evidence by which the litigant intends to prove his or her case through his advocate. Important things which one has to incorporate in pleadings are name of the court, whether district court, quorum, high court or even supreme court, along with the name of the judge if it is known. Index. Indexing in any pleadings is must. Memo of parties. It has details which include parentage, complete address and nowadays even contact number and email IDs of all the concerned parties to the case, whether the parties are plaintiffs, defendants, petitioners, respondents, complainants or accused. There can be a single party on both sides or there can be multiple parties. Relief in prayer clause has to be pleaded and articulated well in any pleading so as to cover all the reliefs which the party to the case ought to ask for from the court of law. Other aspects such as affidavits, list of documents, annexures have to be included in any pleading. Proper numbering of all the pages is must in any pleading. All of the above is done prior to the filing of the case. After scrutiny by the filing counter court staff, the case gets subsequently listed. As most of you know that the Code of Civil Procedure 1908, shortly known as CPC, is a procedural law related to the administration of civil proceedings in India. It is like Bhagavad Gita or Bible for an advocate with respect to all civil matters. The Code of Civil Procedure is divided into two parts. The first part contains 158 sections and the second part contains the first schedule, which has 51 orders and rules. The sections provide provisions related to general principles of jurisdiction, whereas the orders and rules prescribe procedures and methods that govern civil proceedings in India. In India, pleading in a suit is defined under Order 6, Rule 1 of the CPC. It says that pleading means plain or a written statement. This definition is not very clear in itself. The plain and written statement are defined in the following clauses. Plaint is a statement of claims in which the plaintiff sets out his cause of action with all the necessary particulars. There is a phrase cause of action coming in this definition. A cause of action in law is a set of facts sufficient to justify a right to sue, to obtain money, property or the enforcement of a right against another party. The cause of action also refers to the legal theory upon which a plaintiff brings suit, such as breach of contract or false imprisonment. It sets out the sufficient cause so as to the place, time, occurrence, etc. Written statement is a statement of defense which the defendant or respondent deals with every material fact as alleged by the plaintiff or petitioner in the plaint and also sets any new facts which may be in his or her favor, adding such objection as he or she wishes to take to the flame. This ends the part 1 of the topic. We will continue about pleadings in detail in part 2. Have a wonderful week ahead. This is Rahul Mehta, advocate, signing off from today's session. Thank you very much. Thank you.